Hi there YouTube friends, Kalos Orisate, and welcome back to Mom's Greek Kitchen, the channel where I teach you my mom's Greek recipes in her memory. Today we're doing one of her cookies that she used to do for the holidays, Paximadia. Paximadia. Paximadia are Greece's answer to the biscotti. So they are a cookie that's been that's baked and then baked the second time to get nice and crispy. Mom's version is flavored with aniseed, flavor you'll know as ouzo, and they're a great keeper. They keep for months and months, and they're great for dunking and things of that sort. So let's get started. Alright, we're back. So in the bowl of my stand mixer, I've got 1 cup of vegetable oil and 2 cups of regular white sugar. And we're going to put these on to beat, and we're going to beat them at medium speed, medium high, for about 10 minutes. It takes a long time to beat the two together, and I'll be back when that's done. Alright, now that we've had our sugar and oil beating for about 10 minutes, we're going to beat in 3 eggs. And we'll let that go for about 5-10 minutes as well. I'll be back when that step is done. Okay, so we've been beating for about 10 minutes. It's nice and creamy. I don't know if you can actually see it. Let's see. Probably not. Alright. But it is nice and creamy, a pale yellow color, foamy almost. We are now going to add 1 cup of milk, to which we add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And we'll mix that into our mixture. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of aniseed oil. So that's what I'm going to do next. Here goes the aniseed oil. Now, over here I've got 6 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons of baking powder that I'm going to add to half of my flour. Give that a quick mix. And then we're going to slowly start adding it, excuse me, adding it to our egg mixture. Okay, so that was 5 cups of flour. I can tell just by looking at it that it's still way too soft. The recipe calls for about 8 to 9 cups of flour. So I'm going to get the rest of the flour and we'll add that as well. Okay, we're going to start adding some flour now, about a cup at a time, making sure that it's fully incorporated before we add more. We're looking for a relatively stiff dough. Not like a bread dough, but enough that we can form logs out of it that sort of hold their shape. When I say 8 to 9 cups, I'm talking about the scoop and or dip and scoop method. Mom never did the spooning in and leveling off, so mostly it's by eye and by feel. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Needs a little bit more than that. Alright, let me scrape that down and see what that looks like. That might be just enough, I think. Let's see. So that was actually about 7 cups in this batch. Okay, I'm going to say that's probably stiff enough. At least stiff enough that my machine can't go any further. I may have to add some by hand, we'll see. But I think we're actually good. Really smell the ouzo coming off of this. Okay, so now we've finished with our stand mixer, and I'm just going to take the dough out of the bowl and put it on our countertop here. I'll put some flour down so it doesn't stick. It's a pretty thick dough, so it's going to take a bit of work to get it out. Should have got my bench scraper out, or my bowl scraper, but this will do. Alright, good enough. I'll get the rest later. So just work it so it's all even. Smells really good. So it's a nice firm dough, it's not sticky. We're going to divide it into 2, I think. And we're going to shape it into a log, or a loaf I should say. That's so you want a long, low sort of kind of loaf. Something along those lines. So this is about 1 foot by about 4 inches. And you'll be cutting them on a diagonal. So in about every 1/2 inch or so. So judge how big a slice of cookie you want at the end, and shape your loaf to match what size you want. You can make them longer or shorter. It's up to you. So shape it how you want it. Place it on a parchment lined baking sheet, and let it sit for 1/2 an hour before our next step. So I will continue with the other one, and I will be back when we're ready to go to the next step. Alright, welcome back. So we've had our loaves sitting for about 1/2 an hour. That forms a skin on the top, so they're nice and smooth, and that smoothness will stay while they're being baked. We are now going to mark them with a knife, and we're gonna shape them with looking forward to the shape we want when they're baked. So if we cut them across, they're going to be rather short, and if we do them on the side, they become longer. So we decide the angle that we want to do, and you're going to mark them every quarter to half an inch, depending on how thick a cookie you want. And you start at one end, and you just do a nice marking in your cookie. Doing this later will save you from the cookies cracking, because you're going to cut on those lines after they've been baked. So it's just a matter of going down the cookie loaf here, marking them, and then later, once they've been baked and cooled slightly, we're going to use a serrated knife and we're going to cut right through those marks, and we'll get our separate cookies. And then we're going to rebake those cookies on either side until they're nice and golden and crispy. And that makes a cookie that will, first of all, is a great dunking cookie, and also will keep extremely well. I know that Mom used to have these around for several months. As long as they're kept in an airtight container, they don't go bad. They keep their flavor, they keep their crispness. And there's one loaf. I'm going to do the second one exactly the same way, and then I'm going to put them in a 375-degree oven until they are lightly golden and baked through, basically. And then I will be back with the next step. See you then. Alright, we're back. So I've pulled the first one out of the oven. So as you can see, it's lightly golden on the outside. I could have probably left this one in a little longer. It collapsed a bit when it cooled. But anyway, so we take it out of the oven, we let it sit for about 10-15 minutes until it's, it's still warm, but not cold, because you want to cut it while it's still warm. And then you're just going to follow your lines. Easy with the cutting, because it is fragile. And you cut between the lines. And there's the inside. Nice and fluffy. And it actually tastes pretty good the way it is. But for keeping, we're going to put it on a baking sheet on its side. And then we're going to bake them again until they're golden on this side. And then we're going to flip it and do the other side. Alright, and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. So there's our start here. We're going to continue doing all of them. We're going to bake them until they're golden brown. We'll turn them over and continue baking the other side until they're golden brown. And then we allow them to cool completely, and then they're ready to store. They're good as is now. It's just that they won't keep as long, and they won't be as crispy, of course. But that's basically your Paximadia. And I will show you the final product when they come out of the oven. Alright? And here we are. So these are our finished Paximadia. As you can see, they're nicely golden brown. They're very crisp. They snap. They're actually a little warm still, so they didn't snap, but they're a great cookie. They have a nice flavor, crispy, and they're tender. They're great. They're a great dipper for like coffee or tea. So I hope you enjoy them, and come back soon to another episode with another great recipe. Take care. Bye bye.